Welcome everyone to another episode of Price Targets with your host Bitcoin Jack. It's Thursday. Welcome back. Pretty wicked day yesterday, literally, and I think a lot of people got hurt really badly. I somehow survived, and almost barely on some accounts. So that was tricky. Been in cash after the whole shenanigans up here, and I'm back long, but I'm not really sure what's going to happen from here on out. We're going to be talking about that, my thoughts on the subject of this, whether this is going to start the bear market or whether this is just a shakeout or whether we're just going to go sideways for a couple of months. I don't have any concise, decisive answer to that, but I do have ideas and I can share them with you. That said, I want to have your attention first for Prime XBT. They're sponsoring this content. They're an exchange where you can trade all kinds of altcoins, bitcoins, derivatives, and if you sign up for Prime XBT with the promo code BitcoinJack, you get up to 0.5 BTC a deposit bonus, 50% of your first deposit. If that's the first thing you do before you do anything else, is going to be credited to your account. Those bonuses are not withdrawable. So if you trade with them and you make profit with those bonuses, you get to keep the profits once you withdraw or do something else with it. And the minute you withdraw, the bonus will disappear. So there's a link in the description below with the promo code as well, and there's one in the watermark. And I want to thank Prime for being such a gentle and awesome sponsor. Thank you. All right, Le Bitcoin. Last week on Twitter, I posted something. And a lot of people probably didn't see it because I think I deleted it after around 2 hours because I had a ton of DMs coming in asking me exactly what that was. There were a few people who actually remembered what I was referring to, which was a post I posted on, I think, the 28th of February in 2020, prior to the March 2020 crash. So that was kind of, that was super scary. And I'll probably retweet that one of these days on my Twitter. So keep an eye out on that. But what I wanted to show you basically is that, essentially what kind of happened here, which was causing the deja vu, was essentially, right here, the open value was rising, and open interest pretty much went sideways, even though price was already corrective to the node of 30-ish%. But kind of, combined with the fact that funding, if we zoom in, just need to move this to the side right here. Well, it doesn't really, it's laggy, I don't know why. But it was positive here, at least on BitMEX, and I think on Binance it was way worse. It was like 0.05% on the funding, and that's just not. That just always tells you that the odds that retail is buying the dip is pretty large, and these kind of moves, whether they announce the start of a bear market or whether they're just a shakeout in the process of bull market continuation, they tend to go as deep as where they can hit the most liquidations and get their own bags filled. So if you look at a chart like this and you just see the funding remains positive, you see the CVD coming down, which means that there's a lot of market selling, and somehow the funding stays positive, and clearly no one is closing their positions because the open interest remained the same. In this case, at around like $700 to $800 million. While price was, still coming down. So people were adding Bitcoins to their positions as we came down. And if there was not a lot of the fucking dip liquidity, that would have, should have caused different funding, but it didn't. So basically, trap, capitulation, bounce. So let me remove that. So the weekly, it's still, let's see, today's Thursday, so it's still half a week until we close the weekly. If it kind of looks like this, it's really not a bad weekly. I'm going to be umming a lot today because I'm got to be honest, I'm pretty tired, so apologies for that. It's, this weekly block is pierced through, it's holding, and it's above the daily breakout block here. So essentially everything that we talked about last week, me thinking that we could come down here, but also thinking that, if that's going to be the case, everyone's going to be buying there, so we could come down lower. And this went this went even lower than I thought it could. Like I thought it would go, like 33, 34. Some exchanges went all the way down to 28K. So that's, brutal, super brutal. I don't know, let's talk about a few scenarios, okay? Scenario 1. Bear market started. We get a complacency bounce, right? What does that mean? This is gonna jump around a little bit, eventually come up here, I think within this black line and this red line up here. Not succeeding in gaining the distribution we had up here. And then it's going to come down and, we're going to go to 23, 24, I don't know, much lower, mid 20s, possibly 20s, possible. I think it's possible, but I don't know if that's, the most likely scenario. Scenario 2 is, this is a wave 4. Bull market continues, right? And well, there's a few ways that bull market can continue, right? So essentially, this may just, range quite some time, or it comes up here a relatively short time and then boom, up only, back on the back on the menu. My voice is shut. So basically we have 2 bull market continues, turbo only. So that's the scenario where this thing is going to come up here in the next, week or so, the next, 5 to 10 days, and then juggle around a little bit, but then, break out. Scenario 3, sorry, is pretty much the same as scenario 2, but prolonged sideways, right? So in that scenario, Bitcoin is going to be ranging for, I don't know, like 1 to 3 months, and then throughout, I don't know, by the time it gets to August, September, it's gonna, start flashing its boner again and continue up. So kind of, prolong sideways over summer. And how can we know like what's gonna happen? Honestly, nobody knows. I'm not gonna be telling you. I know. I'd be delighted if if it's gonna be scenario 2. And then obviously there is scenario 4 where this doesn't even have the complacency bounce, and just pukes lower. So that's a different version on scenario 1. I would say that if price comes up here, it's a good place to take profit, and let price develop and do whatever it wants to do. But here's a different perspective where if it was some kind of whale war going on here, just aside from the retail, this was so deep, so aggressive, so it kind of feels that one whale had tried to take out another whale, and so maybe our beloved Elon was kind of buying, and then they just tried to kill him because he made some big Bitcoiners mad. So I don't know what happened here. If we look at the daily, like it did retest. It did retest here, like pretty spot on this daily level at the upside, and then bounced again after midnight. That's good. And then we're still battling around this block, but this block is not as significant. It kind of pushed us out. It could be a bearish retest already, but if we look at the weekly, we're still in demand, so probably going to be bouncing. And then there's equal wicks here, which will probably be some kind of resistance around 46, 47, 48, all the way to 50-ish. And then there's going to be more resistance around where this started to break down. So essentially anywhere around 55 to 57 would be the next kind of target. And after that, I would probably just take it easy, take profit, either wait for as we've said, the structure to break to the upside, or potentially use the profits and sidelined money to get into some dips if they occur, right? There's a lot of space up here. It is until here, it should be pretty inefficient. So we're gonna have to see how that works out, right? I hope that makes sense. Jesus. Well, my voice is shot. So I don't know what else I can kind of add to that. Oh yeah, let's see. Okay, so we have this chart. Yeah, so basically trend line from March 2020, touched it in October 2020, and we touched it now. It's a clean trend line. It's pretty much, yeah. So time-wise, the touches are separated like 1-to-1 pretty cleanly, neatly as well. If this doesn't hold and we get rejected here, then I'm pretty confident that price is gonna visit this region. Does that mean bear market? Yeah, I mean, that is a bear market, right? Let's see. I mean, that would be 70%. You ask me, that's a bear market. So I don't think, it's over. I don't think we will go that low. It doesn't, I mean, it's possible. I'm not going to say A or B. Right now, it's just a gamble, and I've taken one side of the bet. Maybe that turns out correct. Maybe that turns out right. And it's probably super wise if price comes back into a 90-day sideways consolidation with a ton of volume in there, that, it's good to not expect that to break instantaneously or at all. Hope that makes sense. Move this. And then, we can have a look at ETH. This is probably going to kind of do the same. ETH BTC. This shit dumped hard, eh? Didn't even have a look at Litecoin. Yeah, I don't know. Like right now, I'm gonna be slow and cautious with alts. It does. I think retail got wrecked really hard, so we're gonna just have to, let it happen. Let's see. BTCD. Yeah. So here as well. I think this has to kind of bounce a little bit further, probably up here, and then maybe there's going to be another period of alt season. But for now, I don't think that alts are, sorry, I don't think alts are exquisitely primed here to outperform Bitcoin. And personally, my focus here will be for now to focus on USD. If we go back to 50-55k, and then if we can get past that, and there's probably going to be more money flowing into the entire market, maybe then alts do have the ability to outperform again. But this has just been a wicked ride. All right, well, thank you Prime again for sponsoring, and I'm going to check you guys on Sunday. Peace.